Well, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this beautiful world. It's good to be with you today. And I wanted to talk a little bit today about an opportunity that I had this week. It was pretty cool. My birthday was a couple of days ago, and I was able to do something called equine facilitated learning, or EFL. And essentially what it is experiential learning using horses as your mirror. And I had never heard about this before. I happened to meet a woman who did this kind of work, and I signed up for it because I thought it sounded super intriguing. And essentially what you do is you use the horse as a mirror to understand underlying feelings that you might have, or to tap into your intuitive abilities, to hone those abilities if you already have them, or even to tap into hidden parts of yourself that you may be unaware of. And I learned from her that horses are wonderful partners for this kind of work because of a couple of reasons. The first one is that they are very perceptive and they're honest. So horses are naturally aware of different states of being. So whether it's our emotional state, or our mental state, or even our energetic state, they are aware of those things and they reflect them back to us immediately and honestly. The second thing that I learned is that they accept us exactly as we are. They have no judgment, they have no bias, and they also challenge us to do the same thing in a non-threatening way, to accept others, to accept them exactly as they are. And the last one, the last thing that I learned was that horses live in the present moment, and they are excellent listeners in that way. So if you are present with a horse, they will provide you, as I said, immediate feedback, and they will pick up on little nuances and things that you might be feeling or doing. And one of the experiences that highlighted this for me was walking one of the horses, Red, from one pen to another pen. And we were going along and everything was working beautifully. And all of a sudden, he just stopped. He didn't want to move anymore. And it had nothing to do with bodily function or any sort of irritation with me. It was just that he wanted to do what he wanted to do in that moment. And what was really cool, I could feel myself getting a little frustrated, like, well, why doesn't this horse want to move? And as part of the experience, Andrea, who runs the program, suggested that I stand my ground. And even if he didn't want to move in that moment, that he was in present time, and that when he was ready, he would do it, but that I needed to stand my ground and put down a boundary and let him know what I wanted him to do in that moment clearly. And so after a couple of nudges, verbal nudges, and a tug on his bridle, he began walking again. And I just thought, how funny that horses, just like other people in our lives, will move right along sometimes with us, and sometimes they'll just stop. And it's up to us to express our needs with conviction, with clarity, and then things will start to shift and things will start to move again. So for today's meditation, I took some inspiration from Andrea's meditation with us before we went and worked with horses. And the idea when you're working with horses is not to go in right away, but to settle the body and the nervous system and the mind so that you can really be present with them. So what we're going to do today is start with a breath and body awareness practice. And then we'll move into heart-centered breath, which we also did, sending this love and adoration to the horses and appreciation. And then we'll go ahead and close with some loving kindness. I think that's what we'll do today. Okay, so before we begin, I always love to share the 5 essentials of meditation. The first one is it's okay to have thoughts. It's in the nature of the mind to think, like it is in the eyes to see. So just notice when you have thoughts, and when you do, bring your focus back to the breath. That is the practice. The second one is to let go of any expectations that you have. You will have all kinds of experiences in meditation. Some you will like more than others, but your job is to welcome everything and resist nothing. Whatever shows up, just be in awareness of that. The third thing is, don't try too hard to have a certain experience in meditation. Just have the one that you're having that's unfolding in front of you in this moment and the next moment. I really think the only effort that is required is setting aside the time and the space for your practice. Um, the fourth is always, always be kind to yourself, like a good friend would. If your mind wanders or you think you should be doing something else or doing something right, don't let that discourage you one bit. There is no right or wrong, and there's no should with meditation. Just give yourself credit for showing up today and being here, being present. And then lastly, stick with the practice. So by staying with your practice day in and day out, week in and week out, you are creating this wonderful new relationship with your mind. And as you let thoughts and impulses come and go without taking action, you become less reactive and more the observer of your mind. We'll be meditating today for about 20 minutes, and I will keep track of the time. All right, so let's begin. I invite you, as always, to find a comfortable, upright, and seated position that allows you to be both relaxed and alert. And you're welcome to find a soft, gentle gaze at a point in front of you. Or if you feel more comfortable, you can close your eyes and completely close to the outside world, tuning into your interior. And let's begin by taking some long, slow, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, telling your body that it's okay to relax, to settle into this moment, to be here now. And to let unfold whatever is meant to unfold in today's practice. Allowing everything, resisting nothing. And gradually returning your breath to its natural rhythm and depth. And we'll be breathing naturally throughout the practice. And becoming mindful now of the sounds around you. Tuning in to sounds that are both near and far. Perhaps noticing the frequency of the sounds, and the quality of the sounds. Refraining from any judgment. And allowing them to unfold as they naturally are. Now perhaps tuning into the sounds of the sounds. Noticing the volume. Perhaps the tone or the rhythm of the sounds. There's nowhere to go. There's no place to be. You are here, right here and right now, where all is perfect, all is whole and complete. Tuning in now to the sounds within you. Perhaps a swallow, perhaps the gurgling of your belly, the beating of your heart. Noticing the rhythm, the movement of all of the functions of your body, working together in unison. Perhaps noticing the symphony that's within you, as all parts of yourself come together and work together. Tuning in to the breath as it moves within the nostrils or the mouth, down into the body, back out through the nostrils and the mouth. Tuning in now to the body, the way the breath feels within the body. Breathing in, breathing out. And tuning in to the contact points beneath you, your body, and the seat upon which you're sitting. Perhaps your seat, the chair, the sofa, supporting your back, your feet on the ground or beneath you. And inviting your body to soften ever more and to be held. We'll begin our mindful body scan, at first beginning to pay attention to your head, beginning at the crown, softening your forehead, the creases around your eyes, relaxing your nose and your cheeks, the roof of your mouth, your tongue, and your jaw. Relaxing into the neck and the shoulders, letting any residual tension melt away. Inviting your arms to lower, to rest heavily in your lap or at your sides. And tuning in to where your hands are. Noticing any sensations you might be feeling. Any tingling or coolness. Perhaps giving the fingers a bit of a wiggle to release any tension. And bringing your attention now to the trunk of your body. Noticing how your spine supports you. How your ribs move with each breath. Your lungs expanding and contracting. Softening the belly. Letting any tension go in your low back. Perhaps in your hips. Feeling the support of your pelvis as you invite it to soften. And imagining that your attention is this beam, this beautiful beam of light. Wherever it goes, it shares love and appreciation. Moving your attention to your thighs, your knees, your calves. Feeling the sensations of your ankles and your feet. And if you're so inclined to give your toes a wiggle, you're welcome to do that. Noticing how the energy is moving and releasing in the body. There's no particular way that you need to be feeling, no particular experience that you need to be having. Simply tuning in to what this body, your body, has to share. Letting your awareness now expand to the entire body, all parts of you. Tuning in to the softness of your breath. Perhaps the clothing on your skin. Noticing perhaps the way the body sways or gently moves as you sit in stillness. No trying, no struggling against anything, no doing. Simply allowing all to be exactly as it is. Bringing your attention now to the rise and the fall of the chest, your heart, the breath in your lungs, tuning in to the heart space, the place where you feel love and compassion. If you like, you can see, perhaps feel, or imagine the breath as it moves in and out of this heart space. There's a light that shines beyond this body out into the world. That expands who you are, that shares your lightness of being. As you breathe in and out of this heart center, invite the sense that there's warmth and there's light that emanates from you. This is the light of your being and your awareness. Imagine the radiance of your light as it increases with each breath. If you're so inclined, you're welcome to rest your hand on your heart to really tune in to this feeling of love and radiance, of this light that illuminates all that you come into contact with. Your hand is on your chest, you're welcome to leave it there or rest it back in your lap. And we'll sit in this embodied presence, this heart-centered space for a few minutes, imagining the breath moving in and out of the body. And I'll keep track of the time. Notice that your mind has wandered. Return to the breath without judgment. This is the practice. Now I invite you to join me in well wishes for all beings everywhere, and that they may be happy and free from any suffering. Notice whoever or whatever shows up in your field of vision, the screen of your awareness. And as you hold that in your field of awareness, I invite you to repeat this silently or hold this sentiment in your heart. May all beings in all worlds be happy and free from suffering and know peace. May all beings in all worlds be happy and be free from suffering and know peace. Allowing the words of the sentiment or these sentiments to settle in the body and circulate in the heart. And allowing your mind now to wander wherever it may go and lead you around the globe. Sharing these same sentiments with whatever shows up for you. And drawing your attention once again to your heart center and offering the same blessing to yourself. May I be happy. May I be free from suffering. May I know peace and joy. Resting in the stillness for another moment or two. Resting in love and resting in peace. In the steady gaze of the horse shines a silent eloquence that speaks of love and loyalty, strength and courage. It is the window that reveals to us how willing is his spirit and how generous his heart. I invite you now to deepen the breath, perhaps tuning in again to the sounds around you. Bringing some gentle movement back into the body, whether it's wiggling your fingers, rotating your shoulders or your neck, wiggling your toes. You might gradually deepen the breath, allowing more oxygen into the cells, into the heart, the body. And when you're ready, you're welcome to open your eyes and gradually and gently take in the surroundings with fresh eyes. If you're so inclined to bring your hands together, thumb knuckles to your breastbone, I invite you to do that now. I want to thank you so much for being with me today, wherever you are, and whatever time you tune in. The light in me honors and sees the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. We'll see you next time.